Hello and welcome to episode 0 of our first season of RogueTech. RogueTech is BattleTech's crunchier, more complicated, more difficult mod, and it's a ton of fun. So let's get started. New career. Alright, I'm not going to go over all the differences. I'll talk about some different ones as they come up. We're going to use the friendly fire setting for on. We are going to, so you have a lot of different starts that determine the roles for the units that you start with. We are going to play the primitive mechs start. This is a kind of a difficult start where the mechs you start with typically have worse armor, worse fire control systems, etc., worse weapons. Do normal contract payment. Most of these settings are going to be default. Advanced Mech Warriors, I want to be rare. I just think it's more interesting to have pilots that are very good, kind of rare show up, and a low, higher chance for them as well. Everything else, multiplier, lethality, exponent, max base speed is all the same. One of the things about this mod is that when you take armor damage, that needs time to repair, just like internal damage. So you can't just get away with if you got shot and it didn't pierce the armor. You don't have to wait for repair. As far as selling prices and scrap return values, I like these to be higher because I think it just makes more sense that if you paid, say, 100,000 C-bills for a laser, that you could get closer to half of that back if you were selling it versus some small number. Alright, well, let's begin. Now, this is a very large mod with a lot of extra code, extra parts. It takes some processing power to run, and it can take some time to load up different scenes and the battles. Battles can be bigger, more units, larger maps, so it just can take more time. I don't recommend playing this mod if you don't have a decently powerful computer. I don't know what the recommended requirements are off the top of my head. You could probably find it on the wiki, and reading the wiki about all the changes is like reading a giant book. But if you really want to understand what's going on when you play the mod, it might be worth the read. Alright, I think we're almost done. 0 pending. See the processings of everything in this upper left hand corner. Alright, we'll get into character creation and get started. Alright, so we're gonna start out with, we're gonna sort of, get out of here with that weird picture. Alright, well, we'll get back to this. Oh, okay, we'll get back to that in a minute. We're gonna start in the remote periphery. We're sort of going with a sort of back world, backwater world start, and we're gonna go with the inheritor. You can read about all these different starts and what they come with. I recommend doing the wiki. I may go through them in another episode sometime. But for now, we start with an inheritor. It gives us the quirks Lucky and Noble, and we start with a random rare mech, sort of another. It's very similar to the base campaign start, where you start with sort of like your inherited blackjack, but this is just some inherited older mech, sort of fitting in with the primitive mechs that our start goes with. I'll go with
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
I like Gravedigger. That's a good name for a call sign. And just name him. Sure, Marco Esposito.
You have chosen wise.
Hey, the price is right.
Yes.
It looks like we're gonna.
Remember, tactics are greater than.
We'll get some.
What's that?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do. So Gravedigger's the name, Marco Esposito. And here we go. Let's see what we rolled up. War is business. Business. Welcome to the Inner Sphere, Commander. You're a mercenary standing on the bridge of your very own Argo. Yep. So this is a career start. We'll see what mechs we got in the mech bay. So for the primitive start, you roll 1 primitive heavy, I think 2 primitive mediums, and a light. So we get an Ostwar, Dervish, Swordsman, and a Fire Bee. One of the other things about RogueTech is you can get vehicles, and you can get battle armor. We rolled no battle armor. I don't think you can get any with a primitive start. But we've got an AC2 carrier, a LRM carrier, primitive one. So these have internal combustion engines, which means we cannot take them with us on moons and other low atmosphere environments. So it's something to be aware of. And we have a heavy hover APC. So this has just 2 machine guns. We probably won't really be using it. It does have a battle armor compartment, so you can. Battle armor doesn't move very fast, so you can stuff some battle armor in here, zoom along in the APC, and get where you're going. It also has an internal combustion engine. So this is, yeah, not likely to be used. So we've got our Ostwar. Now, mechs have affinities to them, which means if your pilot does enough missions in the mech, it can get these bonuses while piloting it. So it gets agile after 20 missions, and hardened plates after 40, which is -3% damage taken, and through armor critical immune, and then +1 defense, +1 melee defense. Let's go take a look at the Ostwar, because we're probably going to end up doing refits on all these. Did a test run before this, and every time I did it, we get no contracts on this starting planet. So we're going to have to go somewhere. We might as well start some refits to make these make a little more sense. Alright, so it's got an SRM, 2 SRM4s, an LRM-20, 2 medium laser aggros. So this is what I was talking about with the sort of worse weapons. It's basically just a less accurate medium laser, because it's an older model. These are primitive mechs, they have older weapons, just are less accurate. So as soon as we can replace those with regular medium lasers, we will be happy. Alright, so how do we want to rearm this thing? First of all, we're going to move our ammo down into the legs. We'll probably drop a bin of LRM ammo and see what it will do as far as maxing our armor out. Interesting balance on the armor. I think I'd like to. That seems decent. Right, yeah, so we've got some chassis quirks here. Get the armor. We can upgrade this to be standard armor and even some higher quality armor, but right now it's primitive, which means we get less armor points total. And then you can upgrade the structure to be able to carry more weight. And then here we've got, oh, it's interesting. It has multi-track fire control system. So even though it has primitive, it's a primitive mech, it has a better than normal fire control system, which enables multi-targeting and higher anti-air factor, so better targeting to aerial units such as helicopters, VTOLs, everything else. Right, so primitive cockpit, primitive sensors, we're going to upgrade those as soon as we can. They give us lower piloting ability and resolve cost, etc. Worse sight range. Yeah, so that'll be our upgrade to him for now. We've got our dervish. Let's get missile boat. It's got 2 LRM-10s, 2 SRM-2s with some jump jets. Go ahead and move the jump jets up. Move the ammo down into the legs. I'll probably just go ahead and pull that one out. Oh, that's not what we wanted to grab. There we go. And then we'll bump his armor up. He is not riding too heavy armor-wise, is he, for a medium mech? We'll probably take off one SRM-2 and SRM-2 ammo bin, and then see if we can't get full armor out of him. Interesting. So you can hold shift to do single points of armor. We're gonna pare this down a little bit, pair that up. Take that down to 40 in the back. Get the legs up to 90. That down to 50. And there we go. Alright. That's gonna be our dervish refit. 9 days. And we've got a swordsman. Swordsman with no sword, so you've got these handheld slots here. Oh, integrated searchlight. Oh, he has reinforced structure. That's interesting. So even though he's a primitive mech, he's got better structure. So you've got these handheld slots. You can get melee weapons and or even handheld range weapons and put them in the melee slots or the handheld slots, and it gives different attacks and abilities or improves your melee attack and whatnot. Alright, we've got AC5 and LRM5. We're gonna drop one medium laser to give it more armor. 40 in the back, 95 in front, 50 there, 55 there, 55 there. Yeah, we'll go 45 in the back there. And yep, alright. So that's gonna be our swordsman Mark 1. And then we've got the fire bee. Alright, fire bee is got Inferno ammo for its SRM2s. So we could just make him a we'll take one SRM2 out and max one ammo bin out. Max his armor out. There's 35 there. 65. 50 on the arms. Yeah, that'll do. He's mostly just missiles. We could give him a medium laser. Oh, interesting. This is Pulse module compatible. I didn't notice that at first. Okay, so we've reduced his firepower a bit, but his armor is way up for a light mech, and we like that. So we've got primitive engine in a lot of these too, which is heavier engine and less armor. So, got all that in the queue. Let's go check out the store, see what they have available. A large laser, we may end up putting that on our heavy mech and replace the medium lasers. Nah, we'd rather have 2 medium lasers, I think. So yeah, I don't think we're going to bother with buying any of this now. We'll just get stuff from our contract. Let's go ahead into engineering, get our repair and refit going, because we're going to be doing a lot of that in between missions. And we'll navigate over to our first mission. So one of the other things you'll notice is the map in this mod is a lot bigger than the base game. The base game had like maybe this little section here with Arano. Oh, I don't even know. Arano restoration probably doesn't even exist in here. Alright, so we want to find a nice, easy 1.5 skull, or half skull planet to start on. Just get some parts. Alright, that one is available. Oh, so we'll just go up here. Alright, it's just pirates and local government. Might want some different factions in that. I guess that's it. So that's 15 days, it's 18 days. We'll go over here to Joppa. So it's a low gravity planet. We won't be able to use our vehicles likely. Lunar world. But it is half skull mission, so we should be fine with our mechs, and our heavy mech really changes the missions for us. Alright, and this is our you always have to wait 1 day to get your starting background equipment. So this will be our inherited mech. Let's see what we rolled. Our uncle left us a Sentinel. Alright, let's go take a look at that. It's unique and highly advanced armament for its time. The primary weapon was a Ultra Autocannon 5 developed for the 3L. Oh, interesting. Double the firing rate of a regular AC-5. Slightly chance of jamming. Alright. Let's go take a look in the mech bay. So we've got small laser, streak SRM2, Ultra Autocannon 5. We are going to want to kind of protect this. This is going to be one of our better mechs until we get, see here, it's got the, until we get some upgraded equipment. We've got a standard fire control system and basic sensors. So let's get a small laser. It's a half a ton. Probably take this SRM2 and the small laser off and replace it with the medium laser. And max the armor out as much as we can. Alright, take that down to 35. Take those up to 55. Is there anything we don't need that heatsink, but I think we have to have it in there. If we take this out, then we get a warning that does not have a minimum number of heatsinks. So a mech must have 10 heatsinks total, and the engine will have some, and then you have to put the rest in the mech somewhere. So, how do we get some more weight? Oh, we have improved communications, +1 tactics. Alright, we're gonna have to, how heavy is this thing? 9 tons. You know, we may actually just leave that in to get another half ton of armor. And this will just basically be relying on the single autocannon for damage. It does 90 total with 2 shots. And we've got 20 ammunition. It was basically 10 shots total. Also, ammunition costs money to fire. So every time you shoot, it costs money. This is 225 C-bills per shot, I believe. Alright, so we can bump those up. We're going to take this all the way up to 60. And we'll take these back down. Well, we'll leave that one up. Now it'll be 75. We'll take our legs up. Be 40. Keep our legs up some more. Alright, this is going to be our Sentinel. So we'll get back into this queue. Sentinel is in the Ostwar, the ones we really want to have finished. We may just go without the Dervish, but we'll probably just wait on that because we'd like to have all that done before we take our first contract. And we'll go take a quick look at our pilots. So you got these little indicators. This guy can drive mechs, he can drive vehicles. Our guy can drive mechs and vehicles. This is nice to have, but it doesn't really matter. You just need. Also, okay, so one other thing.
What do you want?
The mod has a bunch of different abilities, so each of these has 2 options for a total of 16 different abilities you can get, but you can only put still a total of 3 per warrior. So you get Bandit and Focus Fire, you have Warlord and Controlled Burst, you have Awareness and Escapist, you have Phantom and Mobility Expert, you have Juggernaut, Hardcase, and Leadfoot. Oh, I forgot there was 3 there. Yeah, Leadfoot you should only get on people who can only drive vehicles, because it only applies to vehicles. You have Berserker and Coolant Vent, Tactician and Cautious, and you have Sensor Lock and Field Command. If you want to find out what each of those does, you can go back and pause the video and read them, or get the mod yourself, or go on the wiki. I'm not going to read through all of them because it would take a long time. But we've got Beach Ball, we've got Bonnie, we've got Frost, Goggles,
What is it already?
Gravedigger. Oh, did we not lock in?
Training
Confirm.
confirmed, Commander.
We've got Machette, we've got Pointer, and we have Vampire. I will say, I saw one that was pre-generated the other day that had Leadfoot and could only drive mechs. So that's somebody to get rid of pretty fast because they have a wasted ability. Cautious and Field Command. So he is someone who will probably be taking a lot on our missions. Good starter. Well, let's get going to our next, to our, oh, we're already on our way, okay. So we've got 12 days, we've got quite a few days of repair to do. This, one of the reasons this is episode 0 and not episode 1 is because it's a lot of setup and overview without any action, which will come in actual episode 1, because this part of the
upgrades you asked for? Looks like we've arrived, Commander.
part of the problems with, or not one of the problems, but one of the features, I should say, of this mod is that a lot of things take longer. You have to do more repair, you have to wait for, oh, got a duel. You have to wait for, oh, they're both duels, interesting. Are all these duels? Did we go to a planet with a lot of duels? Okay, these are battles, but they're, oh, we may take this one. This is one of my favorite types of new missions. It's where they give you, or might even not be a new one, they give you a more powerful mech. Pirates against the pirates, and you take it in battle. But we will be saving that for next time when we take our actual first mission. Thank you for watching, And like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Tell your friends if you're enjoying it. Otherwise, keep watching.